Here we go. And welcome, guys. Welcome to the Hair Wire, the place where you get hair smart. I'm your host, Sergio Cardona. And today, with a big house, we have Bisan Dipsy, Carrie Jarrett, and our special host and our special guest, Nadia Hughes. How you doing, guys?
We're doing awesome.
I'm excited to hear everything about Nadia.
Oh, yeah.
Nadia, I said that before, but I'm going to say it now live on our YouTube channel. I have been following you for so long. You inspire a lot of women. You inspire trichologists. You inspire a lot of people to stand up for the right thing, to be kind, to be human, and to do good work. And you have the ethics of your work is unbelievable. You are a great human being. I never met you in person, and it's just what I see from your social media and hear from the people around you. And I am so humbled to meet you. And we are so excited here in the Hair Wire to be with you today.
Thank you so much, Vicente. Let me tell you something. You're not going to make me cry today, okay?
No.
But thank you. Thank you so much. I'm not a person that likes the limelight or be in front of the camera and all this stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm very nervous right now.
No way.
I'm super excited to be here with you guys and meet such a great people. I was having a great conversation with Sergio earlier about his father, a great legacy he left behind. And then, of course, to get to meet Carrie, you know, Sergio told me about her too. And I'm like, I'm ready. Today is the day. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Nadia. Hey, guys, before we continue, let me remind you of our Congress. In September 24 is the summit. Sorry. I keep messing up the words, you know. It's our summit, September 24. Save the date, guys. Save the date. We're going to have a great summit. It's going to be an online summit, and you're going to be able to be part of it, whether you want to do it live with us or you want to see it at your own time. So save the date, September 24th, and go to our website, thehairwire.com. Save the date, guys. Save the date. And before that, let's introduce our fabulous guest, Nadia Hughes. Nadia, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Hair Wire. Now, we know Nadia. Nadia has been doing trichology for quite some time now, and you know, ever since she came to the scene and social media, everybody's been talking about Nadia and the work that she's been doing. Yes, no, actually, you have started a fire among trichologists that we have not seen in a while. And it is, I have to say, because of you and your team and the beautiful people around you that, you know, has get the spark going. And because of it, we have seen many great things moving forward in the trichology industry in terms of communication and, first of all, community, because you have been building precisely that, a community. And we have all of those, we have been seeing your work. We have been emulating and, you know, been doing what you have been doing and getting it to new heights. And we have seen the fire being spread out throughout the industry. So we want to thank you for that, Nadia.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, indeed. I started something that in my mind or in my vision, it was to just help each other. Because when I came into trichology, I was lost, and I'm not afraid to say it. I didn't know what to do, where to go, how to start. You know, you get the basics, and I was getting the basics. So, but I didn't let that stop me. I started doing some more research on my own, and that's what got me into there. So I said, if I am this, you know, in this predicament right now, I'm sure there's many more people, because when I was asking questions, Sergio, people will not answer me. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, they don't want to share information. How ugly is that? You know,
welcome,
but then,
welcome to the industry.
but then I realized that they were just as lost as I was, but they didn't want to recognize it because they were protecting their name, their, you know, their business and so on. So then I understood where they came from. So that's pretty much in 2017 how Trichologists on a Mission became. And I said, listen, it don't matter the level of education we have here, whoever comes here, we all gonna elevate each other and help each other, you know, to move to the next level. And that's what we've been doing with Trichologists on a Mission since then. So now we're spread all around the world. We're in Africa, we're in UK, we're in the Caribbean, Canada, here, all the United States. And I'm just so appreciative that people were able to see the vision, you know, within. My goal was just to help, not really to step on nobody's toes, but you know,
which you know, it will happen. Someone would scream and say, ah! Because it happens.
So,
it happens. You know.
Yeah. So you know, that was the whole goal. It's always been everything I do. It comes from a beautiful place. I was raised. You know, by two wonderful parents with a lot of love, right? Of course, we always have the dark side and the bright side of it.
Yes.
So I choose, after I went through all my struggles through life with my children, I decided, listen, God, if I'm so great, show me how great I am and help me through this. And here we are, you know. So I can't be more grateful, and all I can do is help as much as I can.
That's so beautiful, Nadia. Let me just say something. You mentioned community, and this is what I love the most about you, among other stuff too. but I'm not sure if you know our mission in the Hair Wire here. That's exactly what we are trying to build, Nadia. We are 3 trichologists who we felt lost at different times in our lives too, and when we also studied trichology, and we decided that we need to build a community to bring us all together so we can raise this industry to the next level. Because if we look back, the industry has been very dormant for that long for one reason only: there is no community.
Yes. Yeah, there was no community at that time. And I don't know if before, but a lot of people were afraid, you know, what the big people are going to say.
Exactly.
And I couldn't put my life in hold because I came out of almost dying in 2012. I sold my salon, and the investment I did in Trichology, which wasn't much, it was $6,000. It wasn't much, but I needed to make it work for me and my family. We couldn't afford just to say, there's nothing I can do. So that's what pushed me. As a matter of fact, this is a crazy story. When we started Trichologists on a Mission, I invited the very first 40 people that will come to our conference. Will pay for their room and board. So how crazy is that? Their hotel. So my husband is like, are you crazy? These people don't know you. They don't care about you. Where do you think these people? And we were so lucky, 86 people showed up.
Wow.
So I didn't know how a conference looked like. In my mind, I was like, I'm gonna spend $2,000. Just give me $2,000 to put this together. The bill was $11,000 when we finished conference. And I told at the time my assistant, Katrina, I said, oh my God, Sean is going to divorce me today. And she's like, no, don't worry about it. We cut just even. We don't have no money left, but we cut even with all the sales of the registrations and stuff. And we having a great event. It was just awesome. Yeah. It was just awesome. And that's when I figured out there was the big need to assist those practitioners. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I asked God, you know, the guidance, and we're here.
You gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
The industry, as we are talking to you guys, you the viewer, the trichology industry has been around since over 100 years ago, but the community of trichology has been coming around lately. So it hasn't been like for the last, I would say, 10 years that we're starting to see movement, and it's because of the social media that we are being able to connect, that we are
Yeah.
in growth in our industry where knowledge has been pouring out. And now that we are sharing knowledge, you, the viewers, you, the general public, you're getting all the benefit of it, because now we have a trichological class, a trichology industry more robust and more strong than ever because of the knowledge that all of us are able to now get, and of course to promote and to give to you as a benefit for, first of all, keeping your hair, helping you people keep your hair, and of course to stimulate and grow new hair. And when we understand that no growth is able, then only then we will either help you get a system on your head, or to get to a hair transplant surgeon if necessary. But the thing is, there are options today to deal with your hair loss. Now, Nadia, you became a cosmetologist. Now, how did you get involved into trichology? What moved you into trichology?
So I was a cosmetologist. I had a client that had cancer at the time, and I used to be like the hair extension diva here in San Antonio, Texas. And so she became my really good friend. I ended up losing her to cancer. But
sorry about that.
Prior to start helping her and all that stuff, I remember she used to tell me, you have to find other ways because these wigs hurt our scalp. You know, there have to be other ways to help us regrow our hair and all this stuff. And I didn't know, right? I did a research and I came up with Trichology. But mind you, I didn't have the money to invest, because in 2012, I had a blockage in my gut, in my descending colon, and that I almost died, you know? So that got me to get rid of my salon. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And I used to hear her little voice every day telling me, you have to do it. You have to do it. And I ended up going to take a 2-day course at the time. And it didn't fit well with me, the information, because I said, this cannot be that DHT blockers, minoxidil, and laser given to everybody.
Yes.
It's kind of like going to the doctor and giving an aspirin to every disease. It didn't make no sense to me. It didn't settle well with me.
Which of course happened back in the day. You know, everybody was getting aspirin, everybody was getting penicillin, everybody was getting, you know, that happened.
Yeah. So that was my main concern, first of all. And I did my research. And I'm like, what is the human made of? That was my first question, right? And cells. So I started studying about cells, cellular regeneration, epigenetics, and that's where I came with all this information. I was following a lot of information on epigenetics, but because it was science that it wasn't completely out, you know, and I knew a lot of people was gonna look at me crazy. So I started just doing it on my clients, you know, kind of, you know, under the table. It's like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I promise you, when I used to see my clients come every week and see results every week, every week they used to come, I used to cry and go home and tell my husband, oh my God, I can grow people's hair, you know? So that was just tremendous for me. And it was a game changer. From there, I just wanted to share with everyone. It don't matter who it was. You want to grow your client's hair, let's do this. So I'm telling you, I was just sharing information for $300. You'll come and sit down in front of me. I'll give you my rundown. Now is you have all these practitioners having great results. And I can definitely tell you, I'm not a cocky person, but thanks to me, there's a lot of practitioners having great results now.
Yeah.
So just because the curiosity, you know, I have never been fitting in that box, and I don't think I ever will. But that helped me. That definitely helped me.
Definitely. Now, because you were seeing great results and you start to share this knowledge, you have been developing a system. You have been moving through different types of science that you have been able to, gather knowledge of and pour into your system, and you have been creating this holistic process. Walk us through this process, and how can our viewers benefit from it?
Yeah, so I in 2000, I would say 17, after Trichologist on a Mission, I was already developing the part of epigenetics and things like that, but I wasn't ready to put it out yet. So I knew that a lot of holistic therapies were needed, stimulation and things like that. So I created Holistic Practitioners of Trichology. I registered, and did all this stuff. And I said, my vision was to create a community of practitioners that practice holistically, because I knew I didn't want to go in the medicine side. I respect it, and, it's necessary. But on the other end, there's a lot of things can be done alternatively for the client without creating systemic changes in the body and so on.
Plus the amounts of loopholes in the medicine world. Unfortunately,
correct.
it's not about just the medicine, but the system, the way the system is rigged, that it makes it so hard for many people to get the necessary help on their different illnesses in their body. So yes, I understand you correctly.
Yeah. So that was my first concern there. We started with 3 therapies, then we went to 9, we went to 12. Right now we have 27 in total.
Wow.
And of course, I've studied so many different practices. I know pranic healing, frequency healing. I mean, you name it. I have all kinds of different studies that I can't remember right now because there's so many, right? And I share that with the practitioners, because one of the things that I noticed when I used to go to conferences of hair loss, everything was medical. Everything was medicine shots, prescription. And I'm like, I can't do that. My practitioners can't do that. I need to find things that my practitioners can help their communities without systemic changes or getting in trouble. So that's how this came up to do what we're doing now.
Perfect. Now, you guys want to make questions? I know you.
I'm like blown away.
Like, okay, because I keep going.
I know. I'm just listening very dearly to her, and I'm trying to absorb everything you're saying. And I have a question, actually. It's more than like a personal question too, because I'm a trichologist, but I'm not a cosmetologist.
Okay.
So do you think that trichologists like me, we don't have a license in cosmetology, can help people without, doing hands-on treatments, as we cannot do that?
I do believe so, because I do believe that trichology has to do more with biology, with internal recurrences on the physical body, right? How the body systems work and so on. So if, for instance, we read a blood chemistry analysis, we can understand what's going on in the body internally, right? Systemically. We understand that every medication causes a deficiency. So now we put those things together, we are replenishing what the client needs. And then with all those different therapies, the practitioner or the trichologist can help definitely but I definitely believe that the holistic part needs to be in there, because right now, one of the biggest problems we see, misdiagnosis from dermatologists, a cookie cutter system that it's aggravating and making more hurt to the client's head and so on.
Okay. So you said blood work, which is perfect, because trichologists like me, we need something to work with, because we can't do the treatments hands-on. How do you do that, the blood work? Do we have to prescribe that because since we can't prescribe that either?
Right. So I have a way where I can send a letter to the client's doctor with all the required panels, right? That I believe I need just for hair loss, right? I'm not going into autoimmunity. If they suspect autoimmunity, I do require an ANA. If they suspect diabetes, I do require an A1C, things like that. But I get the basics, basic CBC, thyroid, metabolic, and that will give me a blueprint of client's habit. Excuse me, somebody is calling me. Oh,
don't
sorry.
worry about it.
Sorry so much. So that gives me a blueprint of what I need to do with that specific client, understanding how the body systems work. So by taking care of the high likely problems that the client have, by giving them vitamin, minerals, and amino acids, and also therapies, definitely that we see the changes immediately. Cellular regeneration happens, So, so then we also have a bioscan. In a bioscan, we know how it works quantically. I do practice bioquantum medicine and everything that has to do with it, like biomagnetism. We have solutions that can help with take the pain away, to control somebody's emotions at the time that they're going through I don't know, like a stress moment or epilepsy. It can take them away from that moment, that critical moment. And everything is herbal. So that's the beautiful part about this way that we're helping the client.
I want to ask you something, Nadia.
Awesome.
Sorry, Biz.
No,
I wanted to ask
awesome.
you. Yes, it is. Now, we have been around, and how much do you think, Nadia, that stress has to do with hair loss? I mean, a lot of people see stress and they talk about stress, but they don't really get it. And how stress disrupts energy flow in our body, and of course, how we move forward, because consider a lot of people go to their houses, they don't sleep well, the quality of sleep goes away because of stress. The way that they treat their family, the way that they go to work, the way that they interact with people, and it's because of that stress being accumulated, and they don't take notice that it also not only aggravating their digestive issues, maybe heart problems, but also hair loss can be seen as a result of stress. What's your take on that?
So let me tell you something that sorry.
Yeah, sure.
It's just people keep calling me. One of the things with stress, it breaks down biology, right, to tissue, organs, because of the simple fact lactic acid takes place tremendously in the body, creating a systemic change, a wave of symptoms, right, from pains, aches, you can't sleep. It disturbs your circadian rhythm, which is super important, because that is set from God since birth, right? And we need to keep following it. That's why when we go to Europe, for those that are in this in America, we feel jet lag, or vice versa, right? Because it's really hard to get back into the rhythm. But cortisol levels, when it raises up, of course, it causes even mental issues. It can cause a lot of issues in the brain, right? Reality, we have to understand that cells don't have eyes, right? So if you go to a stressor, right, we just get signals. So if that signal that you receive from the cells, right, from the eyes, from the back of the brain, and is saying, oh, it's dangerous, I'm stressed because I lost a loved one, or whatever the case is, now you have all the cells going crazy, scared. Fear is a big thing, and it can deplete the energy or the chi in the kidneys, and that is our lifeline, right? So definitely there's a whole world of things can happen with, of course, if you don't lose your hair for stress, you might lose your life next. So there's a lot of things that it could be happening.
I always say, Nadia, something, and I want your opinion on that. I always say that God give us hair, and we lose our hair as his first sign of any kind of inflammation or systemic sickness, he loves us. He gives us a very visual sign. Your hair is falling out. Go and see what's going on in your body.
Yeah, we have to remember that when we have an issue, right, in the body systemically, what's going to happen? The blood is going to stay where? In the organ area. So it forgets about what's going on up there. Oxygen and circulation is going to be right here in this important area, because you don't need hair to survive, right? So indeed, if anything happened to you internally, the first sign is going to be hair loss.
Yeah, I feel like God loves us. That's why he did that.
He does. Look at me. Give me 1 second. I gotta open the door because this client, she came a little bit early.
Nadia,
I'm gonna run real quick.
Yeah. So guys, I see you guys have been hearing, that when we talk about stress, I mean, stress is a whole force, and it can really make a number and then some on your hair. Okay, so whenever we're experiencing hair loss, we have to consider whether we are having stress events and whether those stress events in the past are now caving in. Because you have to remember, whenever we talk about, for instance, intelligent effluvium, you may experience a stressful event and may not show on your hair loss until a couple of months later. So we have about 16 weeks in between an event in which it can finally express as a hair loss event. Now, Nadia, we were mentioning about intelligent effluvium and stress. You see a lot of those patients because obviously you were working, you're on the forefront of hair loss industry. What was the most common thing that you see on your clients?
Well, I service a community of a mixed people, but definitely scarring hair loss in African American women is tremendous. The amount of ladies I have or I helped. And so I even went a little bit far and became a research assistant with Chicago University through Save Our Scalps to try to understand a little bit more how I can collect data and what's happening in these people's life, what's causing all this havoc in their scalp, of course. So scarring is one of the things, and recently, because we always hear about scarring hair loss not being able to be reversed, right? And I kind of disagree with that to a certain extent, right? As long as they're viable follicles, right, we should be able to produce hair. We should be able to revert the issue that as long as the person is alive, pretty much, we're able to help this person. But I noticed that breaking that barrier of years of the body trying to protect the scalp, right, from inflammation, from whatever environment, whatever the case is, it has helped tremendously. But it takes a practitioner that really cares for their clients. And what I mean is to be very detailed when it comes to that process. And I recently discovered this is not, I've been having a really great results with scarring, but I think now that we understand a little bit better, thanks to my clients that are allowing me to do this different stuff with them and participating and wanting to heal, it has helped me to get to this point, So I do believe that scarring hair loss, we have a greater opportunity to be able to revert it as long as we have viable follicles, of course. So that's one of the things that I see the most. And then, of course, the typical male pattern baldness, which before I went to the Italian Academy of Hair Microscopy, a lot of lights turned on in the upper room, thanks to them, because of the way we learn here in the United States, a little bit more different than in Europe and other places. So believe me, I have a lot of projects going on in my head that I need to put in place now that I know some things, right? And this is why I said, the community, we need to come together and learn together. We can never be the only ones doing what we're doing. There's always somebody there. We're not inventing the wheel. I didn't invent the wheel. The wheel was there. It was just dusty, and we were just trying to get it out, for other people that haven't seen the wheel for many years. So it's just wonderful to be able to help our communities, and those are the kind of things that I see the most here in my place.
Now, you mentioned about cicatricial alopecia, and Biz, I know you wanted to make questions. Sorry.
I think we are asking the same question.
I mean, we all want to make questions to Nadia.
Yeah.
Please, Biz, go ahead. I'll wait.
The same question. I know it's maybe early on to ask you this question, but give us a sneak peek. You said after you came back from the Italian Academy of Microscopy, you said CCA is not what we think it is. And I am dying to know why.
Well, it makes sense to me because the characteristics that we see in lichen planopilaris is very similar to CCCA, or what we know as CCCA. Now, the thing that they explained to us, right, and I'm still in a learning curve or process, is that you can only call it central centrifugal cicatricial alopecia once there's nothing going on. So that there is dead zone, there's nothing going on, and it only happens, of course, this in the vertex area. So that was a big thing for me to understand it, because at the same time, there is clients with cicatricial alopecia that comes with 5 different conditions. So it's kind of like you have to decipher the head of the person, right? So when they say that, it's like, this makes sense. I only had one dermatologist that sent me an African-American woman with the diagnosis of lichen planopilaris. And I said, oh my gosh, this sounds about right. And this is way before I went to the Italian Academy, right? So definitely this is going to help to understand better, get better view to what we have in hand, right? And because it didn't make sense. So for me, I was trying to be honest with myself, Bisani, where I said, am I growing scarring hair, or am I growing androgenic hair, or what am I growing here, right? Because if scarring hair loss is not reversible, right, what am I doing? So I wanted to be real with myself, right? So now I'm going back years of all this scope analysis pictures that I have and changing information. I'm going crazy, believe me. But it makes sense. It makes so much sense now. Also, what they told us about, the frontal area in Chinese medicine, because I'm still learning Chinese medicine, they teach us if a person have a receding hairline, right, is the kidneys,
Yeah.
So it's the kidney force, right? And of course, I break down the whole. I mean, when you come to my classes, I always break down the head, right? And I always said, your what is it called? Immunity in the back, the temporals. I always see a difference on both of the temporals. One is more pronounced than the other one. I could never understand. So I talked to this Spaniard doctor, also a great trichologist, and he's like, listen, one is connected to our nervous system, the other one to our endocrine system, and then the crown, of course, some digestive, and then what's going on over here. So when you treat it as such with the therapies and the treatment, you get the great results. So it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of confusion going on between our practitioners. What is what, right? Yeah. And I think we all need to help each other, but then we don't know how to take a criticism the right way, It's like, you can come and tell me what it is.
Yeah.
I am such. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. So, but I hate for the clients to get the wrong information, right?
Right.
If you didn't know better, well, we didn't know. We were all blindfolded.
Yeah.
But now that we understand, we need to set things straight.
At the minute we know, we say we know it all. This is the minute we don't really know it at all.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you. So definitely, it was just a great experience to learn from the other side of the water.
Right. And did your treatment plan changes, or it is changing right now towards what you learn new stuff?
No, I'm adding actually to the equation. That just brings more knowledge and be able to add on to where I need to do things and so on. So definitely, it's just been great. It opened my eyes to so many things.
You're on mute, Sergio.
Sorry. Now, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to add, whenever we talk about scaring alopecias, one of the key factors is time. When did it start? And one of the things that, many doctors will see is that patients will get to their hands many years, after it actually started. And, whenever we see people with cicatricial alopecia, we are in the front line. We're in the front line, particularly for cosmetologists, because they see it for the first time. They see it before people even notice that they're actually experiencing any type of hair loss. And the fact that you're able to adequately identify that it's a type of scaring alopecia when it's on the beginning stages, you actually are able to revert some of the damage, because the follicle is not cicatricial yet. It's becoming cicatricial, and you're able to hold that hair and regrow some of it. And when you see some of the pictures that Nadia has been publishing, I mean, great results, amazing results, and you see it constantly on weeks. And I have to say, you have to give credit. The process works, and it's all because, first of all, you have to get the patient on the right timing. If you're experiencing hair loss, you need to get yourself right to a hair loss practitioner, like right now. And secondly, you have to consider, how long does it take to get an appointment with a dermatologist? Here in Puerto Rico, we have to wait at least 6 to 8 months, and that is if you get a fast appointment, because during pandemic, people were waiting for 2 years to get an appointment. By the time they get to their dermatologist, they will lose all of their hair. So the idea that we have practitioners who are available, who are nearest in the community, that actually gives you, as someone who is experiencing hair loss, it will give you an advantage. And seeing great results with cicatricial alopecia, it's all about timing. I mean, for me in my practice, when I see people, and when did this start? This started about a couple of months ago. Oh, we are on the right time. But when someone comes to me and says, I've been dealing with this for about 10 years, then I know that that's a very hard place to be, because after years of damage, those follicles will become cicatricial, and growing hair will be very difficult, if not impossible, for many cases. Now, Nadia, I've seen you been working with people who have been losing hair for many years and still getting great results.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Let me tell you, Sergio, the most important thing I think is when they come in, I do have a very deep conversation. I don't follow a trichologist questionnaire. That's like I told you so many times, I don't fit in that box.
There's no script, unscripted.
Unscripted. So I start like, okay, so first of all, looking at your genetics, right? Your father, your mother, all this stuff. Yes, indeed. But what about the pathway that the body's been taking since they were teenagers, since all this started, right? So we have been able to prove with our methodology that they started having hair loss since the 20s. you're 50 and change or 60 years old, we're talking about decades of hair loss, of events happening up and down. That's why it's always important, even if you don't have noticeable hair loss right now, you must go to a practitioner that can help you to get on a healthy path and a wellness path. Why do you want to wait for that life experience to happen, an accident, a surgery, or the stuff, or even cancer to come your way for you to do something about it? Be proactive. That's one of the most important things. I always tell people about it, right? But of course, now what I'm seeing is that they're bringing their kids, their teenage boys, 19, 18, you know, because they're starting to see dandruff, or they're starting seeing, you know, recurrences on seborrheic dermatitis and things like that. So that part is very, very important, to be able to show the client where they started, right? And this is just the result of many years, because when you ask the client, when did this started? Oh, about 2 years, and you see a big gap. It's like, this did not happen 2 years ago, you know? So definitely it is important to be able to decipher all that information. Then as a practitioners, allow us to do our due diligence, to do blood work if we have to, or do our, you know, a way to quantify and qualify the hair that you have now. And I always give my clients a very true, honest answer of how much hair can I expect from you to produce, right? If you are accountable for what we're doing here. Now, there's also ways that I keep my clients accountable, like I pH test them every week. So at the beginning of the treatment plans, they're gonna show 5, 6 pH balance. My goal is just to take you to 7.5, right? Which is the ideal for the body, and everything else will align. But then if we're at week 5, you're in 7, and then you go, I don't know, away for a weekend or whatever, and come back with a 5, I'm gonna give you one warning, okay? The next one, I'm firing you. I have no time to be babysitting people. I'm here for those that want to make a life change for themselves, okay? So there's many times that I post pictures from 1 week to 7 weeks, and it's like, what happened to this one? They drop, or I drop them. This is reality, because it takes a very strong-minded person what they want to know to make the changes necessary. So
how do you, it's like, because we talk about this, our first video is keeping the client, holding them accountable and really defining that. And that's my thing too, is with clients, like I give them all the materials, I give them all the tools, I tell them what, where, how, this is why, and then they drop off. And
I signed a contract with them, and the contract is not only for me to get my fees, but it clearly said that they're going to follow everything from doctor's appointments, recommendations, exercising, eating better, you know, everything's involved there, and even their pH test every week basis. If they fail me in there, listen, that contract is done and there's no refunds back. I have no time.
I love
this.
I need to do this. I used to do this for when I used to have a contract when I lived in Calgary for extension. Same thing. When I was coaching you growing your hair, and you did something that I told you not to do, we're done. We're fired.
And clients tell me, like, but I'm paying you. I'm willing to pay you more. I don't care. I'm not here for just to collect money.
Oh, teach me when I need you.
I mean, it's not reality. Think about it. If we have nothing but failing clients, when you're gonna get your results? Never.
Yeah. Actually, you are saying something really relevant to what I'm doing right now. In a way, I just learned about in the Functional Medicine Health Coaching Academy. I just learned about positive psychology. They said something that you cannot make a person take a supplement. If they really don't want to take it, they will never take it. But how we make them do the recommendations that you want them, or the plan the treatment plan that you want them to be, is to sit with them and coach them through it, dig deeper inside their psychology, understand exactly why they don't want to take this supplement, or why they don't want to, they will not be able to continue on this treatment plan.
Right.
And you will learn a lot from this question, that some people, they have failures from before, they don't trust the system from before. So as a trichologist, you have to play a therapist too, and dig deeper to go underneath these levels. It's just not because, oh, it's a pill I'm not going to take, or a treatment plan I'm not going to follow. It's way deeper than that. And that's why I love trichology, and that's why I love what you're doing, because it's not what I'm going to apply here. It is not. It is like, this is 10% of the whole treatment plan.
Yeah, most definitely.
Treatment plan starts from within.
And that's why I said the metaphysical side is very important, right? Because
Yes.
we come with traumas, okay?
Right. And I
have traumas, you have traumas, we all have traumas,
yes,
that we've been carried for generational. And that's one of the talks that we're gonna have at conference, generational karma and alopecia. It's gonna be so interesting, because reality, it's there, right? We have a blueprint. And to be able to have a better outcome, because we all deserve to be happy at the end of the day, right? I always analyze my clients through the pranic healing, right? We remove all this excess energy, because we are energy. That's all we are. We can't function without energy, right? So what do they call those batteries, the car batteries, whenever it runs out, what? Their cells. It's the same thing, So we analyze a lot of how they talk, how they express themselves. That is very important. We train our eye, our ear, we pay attention, we listen, right? And you can tell, I don't know what it is, but I can sympathize. I can feel pain when a person is talking to me, and we're talking about their trauma they're going through. So I can just say, well, my back hurts. Does that resemble something with you, right? Because we also do biodecoding, right? And biodecoding, it tells us that a symptom is related to an emotion trapped in the body from something that happened to them. So when you bring it to their attention, it's like, how right? And this is all science at the end of the day, but it's super, super necessary to be able to, understand better. So that's why I said that old trichology, that, oh, come in, let me put you under the laser, that doesn't work for me. We already detached enough from what we have gone through COVID, right? We have to really embrace our clients, and as a family member, a loved one, because we care for them. We don't go and spend all this thousands of dollars, right, Sergio?
True.
Now, Nadia, like, as a trichologist, cosmetologist, you bring in a lot of the metaphysical in that. I know we talked a lot about it in the beginning, but can we touch base a lot more for that for the consumer to understand? Like, I think it needs to be talked about more.
So when I talk about metaphysical, a lot of people tend to look at it as a witchcraft, or, things that they don't understand, right? But it's so simple.
Because people usually they will see the religious side of it, and not the scientific side of it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to change your religion. I'm not trying to change your point of view. I love God. I talk to God every day, but I cannot live without my God. So at the end of the day, it's not about religion or that. As a matter of fact, it's about the natural way of healing the body, right? God put all this for us, like magnets, right? Mm-hmm. We can put a magnet on the head, right? On the crown area, on the vertex area, and put the feet together, right? If the feet become short, one leg's become short, and it lets me know that there's something going on in the parasympathetic area. or if I put it in the temporals and it shortens, so we can check. I'm not a doctor, but I can check, cross-check, and it's called muscle testing also, right? Where the muscle tends to retract or elongate and pair up with the other leg. That allows us to know where is the problem. This is what, the holistic doctors used to do before the big pharma took over.
Kinesiology, that's what it is. It's science.
Right.
My friend is a kinesiologist, and we're bringing him on the summit, and he did that. I actually broke my ribs in hair school, and I ended up getting arthritis in my hip, and I went to chiropractic for years. We couldn't figure it out. Nothing. Later, he did kinesiology, muscle testing, and found out it was from my broke ribs, and he just pushed 2 things on my ribs. It went away.
Yeah. And that was it. Exactly. That's how easy it is. I mean, articulotherapy, where we look at the whole body and the ear, we can see faces. We can see a lot of things, a lot of information that the body speaks. The body speaks. And just by putting some points in the certain areas, or we do a bloodletting, right, where just release some of the blood, the energy that is trapped in that specific organ comes out, and now you feel good. What happened, right? It's kind of like difficult to explain to many people, but I promise you, it's so tremendous how the body has the ability to heal. When we're going through illness, you can just fast. I've been fasting since last night at 7:00, because I wasn't feeling my best. And it's going to be 3:00 right now. I still haven't eaten nothing, but I already have my supplements and things like that. They'll support me, right? And I am a big believer that there's no mineral that is deficiency that is not correlated to a disease. If you have a disease, it's because your will inside of your cells, they're not receiving the mineralization that it needs. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. But when it comes to scarring hair loss that we were talking about, there's only one mineral that can fix that problem. And let me tell you, here in the United States, they only use it by 0.1%. And it affects connective tissue disease. It affects so many things. You have autoimmunity, right? So now that I was able to do a little bit more research and bring it to the clients, created a product to be able to give it to the clients and fix their immunity, and then on that just start to seeing hair growth on the scar tissue areas that many doctors have touched and seen and done. It's just a wonderful thing. Just one mineral. So that's how wonderful the body is. You give the body what it needs, he's going to respond.
Nadia, I appreciate that you are bringing the awareness of body healing to prevent hair loss or to reverse hair loss. I love this idea because this is where trichology is gonna blossom. It didn't blossom before because of lack of community and because of one box. And that was not right, because hair loss is not from here. It's from within. And that's why we need all the modalities that you're talking about to heal your body first, to heal your sympathetic system, to heal everything inside. Hair will just grow as a result of all of this that you're doing. So thank you for that.
Yes, definitely. You're very welcome.
Carrie, anything you want to add?
I want to keep listening. I'm really enjoying
this. We're gonna get on the phone.
You're like a sponge.
We're gonna get on the phone.
Actually, I'm big into modalities. Like, as you know, I do practice law and modalities, and I talk epigenetics too. So I'd love to be more forthcoming, I guess you could say, with my modalities in my practice. And it's funny, I've always been scared. Really, really scared. You can hear my voice too, because it is a faux pas, and you're inspiring me to finally come forward as me and bring this as something that you know, is so beneficial. And I know it's beneficial. I think it's just, you know, the fear of bringing the two together. And I think you need to be my Yoda.
What about Carrie? What about you and me? We go visit Nadia for 1 week. When we
Listen,
can do that.
come through. I got you guys.
We'll do. We have to visit Nadia. We'll do a special show over there.
So
Nadia,
I have been trying to find a way to start my trichology practice all by myself since long time, and it never happened. And I think I will need to come visit you, so that will happen.
Yes,
Carrie and I will come.
definitely. I'm looking into going to UK to teach a class, so maybe we can meet over there.
No. I want to come to your premises. I want to take from your energy.
I want to come and see my secrets. That's what it is.
I don't kid around. I want to feed from your energy, and your energy is going to be in your premises more pronounced than when you're going to be outside. I believe that I need that energy. That's what is
yes, well, definitely. Thank you, Vicente.
No,
Nadia,
Nadia, we want
connecting. You and I are getting on the phone right after this.
Wait for me.
Let's do a conference call. Just talk.
By the way, before we go, we have a question here from the audience about the pH testing. Is it a saliva or urine?
So we do both. We do both. And then when we're doing the treatments prior to shampoo their scalp, we test also the pH of the scalp. Perfect. So we know sometimes all the stuff that we eat and everything, well, not sometimes, all the time, it comes to the surface. So yeah, we test everything.
Perfect. Nadia, again, thank you for being with us. Hey, we need to do this again. Definitely, we need to be doing this again, and we will. Before we go, where can people get in touch with Nadia? And of course, where can people get in touch with the network that you have been building?
So we have a network of trichologists. It's called Trichologists on a Mission. And that is more like educational and things like that. But then if you're looking for a practitioner that works holistically, we have holistic practitioners of trichology.com or the Instagram. And then, or myself directly at Harrigan TX in Instagram, or Harrigan Certified Hair Loss Specialist. We have so many links there, but you'll see me there. You'll see me there, guys. I mean, I'm in all three platforms there, just assisting directly the community, helping my practitioners, and at the same time, just doing what I love.
We will put all these links on our YouTube channel, so people can easily click on the link and go find you.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Bisani, Carrie. Thank you so much. I feel like home, let me tell you. That's one thing that, I'm always nervous about interviews. I got to meet a little bit better Sergio this past 2 times in Italy and then in Florida. And he had me crying like the whole time in Florida.
Sergio's magic that way. He's really good. Yeah, that's his gift.
Such a wonderful individual. At the beginning, I was just happy to get to meet somebody, from my culture, Spanish and stuff like that. But getting to meet him more, and then the legacy that he carried from his father is just beautiful and wonderful. Yeah. Much admiration to you, Sergio.
Our admiration to you, Nadia. You're a wonderful person, and of course, you have a story. You could write books about it. Actually, you need to write it if you haven't already. Okay, and when okay, that means that you're on it. So when you publish, let us know.
I'm gonna be crying the whole time.
No, but believe us, believe you guys. Nadia is one success story that you don't want to miss. I mean, this woman has inner strength and pulling.
That's why I think I'm an alien. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like, that's my father gonna come and get me.
pulling inner strength in the most difficult times of your life. It takes courage, and it takes will, strong will, and that's Nadia. And Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
So, guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. God bless you all. Be blessed. Next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.